Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the score was 121-15. The Lakers got the victory in the first cup game for our team uh, in San Antonio, obviously against the Spurs. And their, young fellas they got over there in San Antonio, I got to give them credit, man. They look really, really formidable out there. They've turned their franchise around between Wemby, Keldon Johnson, Stephon Castle, Julian Champagny, and all of those young guys, Devin Vassell. Um, they just really, really gave us hell. They really did. This was probably the closest game we've played all season. When you look at the stats, it's one up on one side, one up on the other. We had 48 field goals made. They had like 47, stuff like that, all up and down the stats. Um, where we really won was our 45% three-point shooting and getting to the line. I think we did pretty well there. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we got to the line enough times to make it work for ourselves. Turnovers, I believe, was like 11. I don't remember. The stats are foggy into my mind right now, but you talk about our superstars showing up in this game and our defense showing up particularly with our bench. Our bench had 8 steals. You're talking about 3 from Max Christie and D'Angelo Russell, and Gabe Vincent, I believe, had 2 of them. So, you talk about our defense coming to play. That was really a big thing, seeing that many steals come from your bench unit. But Bron and AD, man, that's really what it comes down to. Bron and AD. Bron had a triple-double tonight, which I believe it was 16 points, 12 assists, 16 rebounds, something like that. 12 rebounds. No, 16 rebounds, 12 assists, and I think it was like somewhere between 16 points, somewhere in there like that. Very, very, very efficient game for our overall team, man. We shot very well, over 50% from behind, from the field, and about 40-something% from behind the arc. Just a really, really nice, overall efficient couple of games for the Lakers. We shot pretty well in the last one too, so we're just kind of on fire at the moment. Anthony Davis, 40 points, double-digit rebounds, several blocks, a steal. Just a tremendous performance from Anthony Davis. Very efficient. I was a little worried down the stretch because we were missing some key free throws in the fourth quarter that ultimately gave the Spurs an opportunity to have a lead there. And it was back and forth all the way to the end, and we just took care of business in the clutch. Austin Reeves needs to be given credit. He hit a big 3 down the stretch. Also made some fantastic plays. I think about a bounce pass that he made to Anthony Davis in transition. I think he had about 19 points, probably hit about 5 or 6 3-point shots. He was really, really efficient tonight, and helped us in some key areas down there. Got to give Dalton Connect some credit. He had about 14 points. He did not play a perfect game, but he picked his spots and was efficient down there and really helped the team with the starting minutes given. I thought this was the best D-Lo game defensively I've seen in over a year. Just to be honest with you, he was good. 3 steals, as already mentioned, double-digit points, but he was just active. He was active, getting in the passing lane, snatching the ball, trying to put himself in a position to really help in other areas in scoring. He also had about 6 assists. So I was really pleased with D'Lo's bench effort tonight. I thought this was a very good D'Lo game. Did everything I ever want to see D'Lo do, man. Give me some hustle on the defensive end. And that's what I saw there from him. Gabe Vincent and Cam Reddish swapped spaces today. Gabe Vincent gave you Cam Reddish production. Cam Reddish gave you Gabe Vincent's jogging. In 19 minutes, he was able to accumulate absolutely nothing. Was Cam Reddish. Meanwhile, Gabe Vincent had a really good game for the standards we have for him. 3 steals, 6 points. Impact game. Just like he had the game before last. It was an impact game for Gabe Vincent. I thought he was really good tonight. He hit a 3, if I didn't already mention that, which was huge for us in the fourth quarter. What can I say, man? They just swapped spots. It's the production you expect from Cam is what you got from Gabe, and the production you expect from Gabe is what you got from Cam. They took each other's whole way of doing things today. So that's what we saw. I could not be more happy with the Lakers, though. We're on a 4-game winning streak. Of course, now that I've taken a look at the schedule, I realized we literally play 24 hours from now. Not even 23 hours from now. We got a 5 p.m. game in New Orleans tomorrow night to end our mini road trip. So I don't know how that's going to fare, given the fact that we had to fight so hard for this one. But we got the victory against this Spurs team in their building. So we won a road game, found a way to win, kind of carried our Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, ways into a space where we can see more of what's consistent for ourselves and our identity. And that's really what I've been challenging this team to do, man. We find ways of winning at home, but can we find ways of winning on the road? And tonight I thought we took our home effort on the road. So, got to see us shoot the free throw better down the clutch. I think this game wouldn't have been as close as it was if we would have hit those free throws. Bron had about 7 turnovers. He mentioned that in the post-game interview that he wanted to do better there, so I don't need to say much more than that. But his overall production, passing the ball and just ultimately doing what he needed to do to rebound the basketball really helped us. I think he actually walked away with 11 points. I don't think he had 16 points. I think this was a low-scoring Bron game, but he did get like a layup in the last minute of the game, which I think gave him maybe 13. I don't know how many points Bron had, but it wasn't more than 16 points. So I think he already had over 10. So he got the layup. So it had to be somewhere between 12 and 16 points. So I don't really know, but I know he had 16 boards, and I know he had 12 assists, and I know that triple-double was his 4th straight, which is his career high. So we're very, very happy about that. And it came in our 4th straight win, so that made it even better. You see the correlation between Bron getting triple-doubles and us winning. People say he can't affect winning. Well, he is. If he does this, we're winning every one of those games. So, I just love what I saw from everybody, man. This is the second game where I can legitimately say it was a team effort. We didn't have Rui out there, but we found a way to contribute, and our starting lineup without Rui looked pretty damn good, if I'm being honest with you. Max Christie just really impressed the hell out of us off the bench. With his 11 points, a block, a couple steals, a few assists, some rebounds. I mean, he really contributed in all areas and didn't overdo it. I thought his passing looked as good as tonight as it ever has. You could tell he's been working, and you could tell being bench, he's reacting well to it. And hopefully, when we get everybody back, will have earned his way into coach's rotation once again, because I think we're a much better overall team defensively and in transition when Max is on the floor, and I think we saw some of that tonight. I don't know if I should read into this or not, but you removed Rui and you played more Max and you got more defensively out of your team. Not to say that I want to remove Rui permanently, but you just see more of what leans into guys who can play defense very well on the floor, and it just gave us a better defensive lineup out there, really. I mean, I think that a good correlation between our getting stops as much as we did and Max Christie playing more is just a natural occurrence when you consider Max is 6'6" with long arms, who thinks defensively, can rebound the ball. You're gonna play better defensively. You're gonna be more capable out there with a swingman like that. He's gonna help others in their defensive assignments as well. So we saw a lot of good from Max Christie, passing up opportunities to shoot contested shots, to make plays for others, swinging the ball around. I just really love what I saw from Max. I really did. I thought he was key to this victory tonight. I think he really helped D'Angelo Russell defensively. D'Angelo kind of piggybacked some of that energy as well. I think it benefited D'Angelo greatly to have Max next to him in that second unit, just as we figured it would have benefited him to have him next to him in the starting unit for the last 2 years. But that's a whole nother story. The point is, I like the synergy out there. I like how we operated with Max Christie in some of those rotations, man. And I think we're a much better defensive team if he just gets the minutes he's supposed to be getting. And Gabe Vincent, Gabe Vincent played better defense with Max out there as well. So I don't know if I should read into that or not, but I think this was a good test for that particular dynamic, because San Antonio is playing great right now. And tonight was no exception. Offensive rebounds, we pretty much had one more rebound than them on the offensive side. I think like 2 more rebounds than them on the defensive side. So we ultimately run the rebound in total. But both teams had over 10 offensive rebounds. So we got to crash the glass, try to shut down second chance opportunities. A lot of it, of course, has to do with Wembanyama down there. So, it's kind of hard to deal with. But I thought we rebounded well, but we still need to try to keep people off of the offensive glass for sure. What else is there to say? Chris Paul really looks like he fits in with this team. As I said in the pregame video, he looks as good as he has in several years, and I thought tonight was no exception. He looked pretty good out there. And Stephon Castle is just, this kid is starting to become one of, he's stepping into his own early. His basketball IQ was on high display. His clutch ability down the stretch was on high display. His passing ability, all that. Stephon Castle is one of the best young rookies in this class, and I think his future is blinding. Him and Wemby are going to be a tandem in the future. And so, heck, they're a tandem now. You can see that right then and there. So, I think the Spurs are going to be a problem. I think that when you look at the stats, you look at how they played with our team, we're pretty much the same. Our records are similar. And up and down the stat sheet, we pretty much had the same stuff going on. I think the main difference was just us shooting more efficiently from behind the arc. And they had like 42 three-point attempts, which we talked about earlier, how they're not averaging anything less than 36. And I think we only had like 31 attempts or something like that, but hit a hell of a lot of them. So that's really where the difference was. But it's amazing how they were able to get those extra 11 three-point shots up. I believe the difference was in their attempts than us. When you consider turnover-wise, we had the same turnovers or one shy of them or something like that. Offensive rebounding-wise and field goal attempts-wise, we were just lined up pretty much evenly, both teams. So for me, it's like, I think the only real difference, I guess, was them fouling the hell out of us and getting to the line, versus on those same possessions, they would shoot threes and miss them. I think that's kind of what it was, because it's hard to tell where they actually got those extra 11 three-point shots from. I can only imagine it just came from the whistle going our way and making up that difference. So, yeah, this was a very even game, man. You ain't gonna find too many games more even than this up and down the stat sheet. And I got to give credit to both teams for making this extremely fun to watch. I thought the intensity was high. Both teams they felt the need to win this game for the cup. And you could tell that this means a lot to everybody on both sides. You could see how happy Bron and AD were at the end of this game. This one meant something. And I feel like Anthony Davis really takes the Wembanyama matchup very seriously. Especially seriously going up against that young fella. The only person who towers over him in any situation, really. The way Wemby was able to get some of those boards over AD, blocking AD, you just don't ever see that. The way that Wemby can handle certain things out there, he's just different, man. He's absolutely different. So, kudos for Anthony Davis for winning that matchup tonight. And I still think Anthony Davis should be the league leader in the MVP rankings right now, even though ESPN disagrees. We talked about that at the halftime video. I encourage you to see that, because I definitely reacted to it earlier then. But I still think Anthony Davis should at least be in the top 3. I understand Jokic is coming along strong. Jason Tatum's been there the whole time. But if it ain't Anthony Davis after that, or in that top 3, I don't know what the hell we're talking about. I really don't. And so that's how I feel about that. If I'm going to give the game ball to anybody, man, Bron with the triple-double with the turnovers, I'm kind of going to shy away from Bron, even though I thought he was good. I thought we needed a little more scoring from Bron to secure the game. We barely won, and I think he barely had 11 points. If he would have gave us 25, 30 points, we'd blow them out. So I can't give the game ball to him. I probably want to give it to Anthony Davis for the 40 points. Just overall being efficient. Double-digit rebounds. I believe he walked away with maybe 12 to 14 rebounds, a couple blocks. But my mind and my gut is telling me to give it to Max Christie. He didn't play better than the Stars, but his performance, I think, deserves the game ball simply because he had been benched for the last 4 games. And he came in and didn't make any mistakes for the most part. Pulled down some very key boards. Made some key assists down the stretch. Hit some big shots earlier in the first half. And even though he didn't score in the second half, I just felt like he impacted the defense in a way that made other people better on that bench unit. And I firmly believe that you do not win this game if Max plays just average. You know what I mean? If Max doesn't give you his production, you don't win this game. And so in the spirit of being just impressed with how he overcame things and knowing that I'm probably not going to be giving him the game ball too much this season, I'm going to give the game ball to Max Christie, despite Anthony Davis being the person that I believe had the most, impact on this game. Bron, obviously, with, the triple-double is amazing. But I just want to give it to Max Christie. I feel like you got to reward a guy who's been benched, who comes in and it makes this type of impact on the road. He had a situation where Wemby had sealed him out, and he got the stop on Wemby, stole a ball from Wemby. I mean, Wemby is twice his height. And for him to be able to get that stop, I was enormously impressed. And I really, really want J.J. Redick to continue to play this young fella, for better or for worse, because I truly believe our team is much better if he's getting his minutes. I believe that to my core. We are a better basketball team when you have a 6'7" defensive player who can play some offensive stuff and shoot the ball. You match up better with the NBA when you play that player, man. So for his development, for the fact that we've been, upset at him for how he's played, talking about he's a negative asset, we needed this game from him, and he needed this game for himself. And for it to happen on the road makes it even more impressive to me. And that's where the game ball's going, man. I'm giving the game ball to Max Christie. Man, I ain't asking no questions. That's where it's going, man. So that's what I have to say, man. Kudos to both teams playing a very close game. Kudos to our guys for bringing our defensive lunch pail on the road, man. That's what it really comes down to. We held them to 115. I feel like if we would have played the normal defense we do, probably would have had 130 points dropped on our heads. So that's really what the difference is, man. I like what our bench did defensively. And Max Christie led the way in that way, in my opinion. And I think D'Angelo Russell and Gabe Vincent deserve a serious nod for that as well. So, yeah, that's what I want to say, man. Great team effort. Love this win for the struggling players that really stepped up in Rui's absence, man. That's going to be the story for me. Gabe Vincent and Max Christie and D'Angelo Russell stepped up and made this a basketball game the Lakers could actually win. And if they give us this production every night, we are a very difficult team to beat. So that's pretty much what I got to say. Hopefully our guys are getting some rest tonight, obviously on the plane, because we got to head over to New Orleans, or if they take a bus, however that goes. Safe travels for our guys. And let's get ready for New Orleans tomorrow, man. We know they're missing some of their starting players, to say the least, and they're missing everybody in the starting lineup. But they have some guys stepping up, and they will give us trouble tomorrow. And, of course, anytime we go into New Orleans, it's an Anthony Davis day. So you best believe he's going to want to play that second back-to-back tomorrow. So I don't think we're going to miss anybody tomorrow. Normally, I'd say in a back-to-back, you're probably going to rest somebody. But I believe Anthony Davis is going to want to beat the Pelicans every single time he sees them for the rest of his career. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. Very great win for our Lakers. Couple of great wins in a row, man. And we've turned it around a little bit. We have a long way to go before we're where we want to be. But for our unit, especially for a bunch of guys who've been struggling, this is the type of game they needed. BDR 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.